Hey guys. My bed is sinking in. Oh, should have gotten this more prepared. Today I'd like to make a video. Oh my god. Oh no. My bed. Today I'd like to make a very special video. This video is about my idol, Trisha Paytas. Now listen. Let me tell you something about what I'm about to say. If you don't agree with me, that's okay. I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'm just saying, I know what you're gonna say. She's a slut, she's a whore, she's a prostitute. And if you don't say that because you like women, then you're gonna say, well, she hurt a lot of communities, she's very problematic. And I agree. I agree with you. I'm not gonna say that she's not. But I am gonna say this. I love her so much, and I don't know why. Okay? I think she's funny. I think she's beautiful. I think she's very open and honest. I like her. I relate. I like that. I think she has a good heart. She has a good heart in her. She's very confusing. And she has BPD, which I never can remember what it stands for, and not that that excuses any of her actions. But I like how she's very transparent about things. And she is herself, and I don't know what it is. Like, I just really like her. She's like bubbly, she's ditzy. She reminds me of me. And like, I don't know. I live my life vicariously through her because like, I'm like, oh my god, I'll never be her. I'll never live in the city and be beautiful like her. And I live through her when I see things that she does. I'm like, I would do that. That's me. And people hate on her because they see themselves through her and they don't want to believe it. And if they don't, then they're lying because she's done something that at least everyone has done before, even if it's something bad. And I know she's done a lot of things in the past. She definitely likes attention, especially back then. But she has a kid now. And ever since she was, I don't actually know too much. Like, I'm not that deep into it yet. I'm going to buy her book. Because I wonder sometimes, like, how did she get the way she was? Because she was, like, doing prostitution and everything at such a young age. And, like, I'm 17, and I'm probably doing a lot of things that I shouldn't be doing right now. But, like, I always feel like this is about me now. I, like, have problems, like, expressing my sexuality because I always felt like I was so ugly. And, like, I'm strong. Like, I got some muscle here, you know? It's not, you can't really see it through all the fat, but, and, like, I always, like, people, I was always ugly, you know, I was, like, the ugly one in school, and everyone had boyfriends, and everyone was liked by everyone, and I wasn't, I was alone. So, I never was able to express my sexuality because I felt like I didn't deserve it. I felt like I'm a woman, and, like, I'm damaged goods now because I lost my virginity or something, which I have not. So, I, like, can understand her because she's, like, something that I wish I was, you know? And I love her. Like, I don't know. She's, like, she's rich, she's beautiful, she lives in the city. People love her even though they hate her at the same time. She's, like, famous. She's, like, I mean, a lot of bad stuff has happened to her, too, but I relate to some of that stuff. And it's, like, she's, like, me, but dialed up to, like, 20. And, like, I have bipolar disorder, so I understand some of the things that she goes through. And I want to live that bougie life so bad. And, like, I grew up poor. I am poor still. I do some things on the internet to get money. And, like, I relate to her. And, like, I don't know. And I think that's it. Like, I just relate to her. And I don't need to explain why I like her. But I have friends who are very, like, against her because she's done things. But I feel like people don't understand unless you like that person yourself and you see them as a person. I've made mistakes as a kid. And she's like 20, a lot of things she did that were problematic when she was like 25, 26. I think she's like 30 now, like 36 maybe. So it's been a while, but like she's grown from that. She doesn't do this stuff anymore. And the last thing I believe was the biggest controversy was that she came out as a trans male. And people were mad about that. And I'm just saying, like, if someone says that, you don't have to respect that, but I do, because, you know, if there's someone around you and they think they're trans, they say that they're trans, even if they're not sure, you have to be respectful of that, because it's just, like, so awful of you to not, and then people have this double standard where it's like, oh, well, I'm trans, but what she's saying doesn't make sense, so I don't support her being trans, and that's not fair. You know, that's, like, really mean. That's a double standard because you don't understand where she's coming from. You can say that she's not trans. Like, that's so awful. And I relate because when I was going through my gender identity crisis, I thought I was a male, too, because there's, like, a stigma where if you think that you're having some sort of gender identity crisis, the first thing you go to is being the opposite gender. And if you're born as a female, then obviously that's too male. So what she's probably going through is that she, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I feel like she went through the same thing because eventually she decided that she was non-binary, and I think she still is non-binary. She came out as non-binary like 3 years ago, and she still is now. And that's the same thing with me. A few years ago, I was confused, and then I came out as non-binary, and, like, people were, like... I was on fucking Instagram looking at videos of TMZ fucking reporters. By the way, does TMZ even exist anymore? Like, I didn't even know that. And there were a paparazzi guy was asking her, like, hey, you've been getting backlash for saying you're trans, so are you gonna get, like, any surgeries or anything like that? And she was like, no, because I'm accepting of my body as it is. And people were like, oh, she doesn't want to get any surgeries because it's not for her, but she has so much plastic surgery. It's not about, like, she can do what she wants. I'm non-binary, but I don't change my body to look more androgynous. I know what I am inside. And people are saying, like, oh, well, you have to go through some sort of body dysmorphia to think you're trans. And I understand that in a way because I did when I thought I was a trans male, but eventually I accepted myself and I was fine. Not saying that transgender people don't accept themselves, but some people, like, it's like a spectrum. It's dialed up more. I think gay is a spectrum as well. Like, some people are on the low end, some people are on the high end where it's like their whole personality, and that's fine because it's their life. And people are just like, they hate on her for everything because they want to prove to the world that she's a bad person, but she's uncancelable. That's what I love about her. She keeps coming back. She does what she wants. And it's something that I want. I don't want to be chained down like I am now because of my own head. And it's like, I relate. And then, like, my friends who are trans and part of minority communities, they're like, oh, she did this and that, so she's a bad person. And it's like, I joke about it because I'm like, oh, well, if we're not friends anymore someday, you can say it's because I was a Trisha Paytas fan, you know? Problems from the beginning, red flags. But ultimately, I think it's just, like, it's a misunderstanding. Like, I'm not a bad person. I'm a good person, and I think she's a good person too, and I'm not one to judge and say that someone's a bad person because that's not up to me. That's up to God or whoever's above, you know. It's not up to me to say, or it's not up to anyone, because maybe it's just a thing that we do as a society to make people outcast, because we've always done that. So I don't think anyone has the right to say she's a bad person, to say that she's a bad mother, to say that her life is wrong because of how she is, because I think she's happy, and at least, you know, like, she's been through a lot. She used to do hard drugs, she used to be really mentally unstable, and she used to do a lot of things to hurt people, and that's bad. But just because someone does bad things doesn't mean that they're unsalvageable, you know? And I just, you know, I feel like this world should have respect for people and love for people. It's not like she's ever, like, done something really bad to hurt people. I mean, some people become serial killers because of things in their lives. Some people are, like, petty about it. Like, someone became serial killer because they're just mentally unwell, and that's bad. Like, that's why some things happen like that, because it goes unchecked. But she's gone through so much, and she hasn't. And, like, I just think, like, it could be so much worse. And, like, I don't know. I feel like there has to be some sort of level of respect. Like, maybe we shouldn't be giving respect to serial killers, but she hasn't done anything that bad. and it might have hurt people online, and that sometimes can translate to real life, but I mean, she's always said she's sorry, other than for the trans thing, which she said she's sorry about how she said it. But, I mean, I know there's definitely videos of her crying and saying that she's sorry about things, and, like, I don't know. I can relate to it, which is why I wish that people had more empathy, because it's like, I relate, so it's like, I would wish that someone would have empathy for me if I made a mistake. So I don't know, that's just how I feel, and like a lot of it too is like, I feel like a sexuality thing. Like, I just like, as a 17-year-old, like, you're so, especially a 17-year-old girl, it's so drilled into you that it's bad to have sexuality, and like, I'm gay as well, and like, when I had my first girlfriend, it was really hard, and oh, sorry, I'm sick right now, and it's just like, it fucked me up. It fucked me up. Because, like, I'm just, like, I'm so scared of sex. Like, it ruins my life. And it's just, like, I end up hating myself. And I'm like, why am I like this? Like, why can't I be like every other girl? Like, I can't have sex. And that really bothers me. Because it's, like, it interacts with my relationships. And then those people don't understand. And then it's, like, I don't know how to explain it to you. Because I don't know it myself. I don't know the answer. I talked to my therapist about it. And it's not her expertise. So she just says, like, what do you think you should do? And I say, I should just do it, but I can't. And I think about it, and then it's not even happening, and I start crying because I know I can't do it. But I'm too young to go to a sex therapist, because you're not supposed to be thinking about that at this age. And it's like 17. I will say this for my whole life, 17 is the worst age, because you're so close to being able to do what you want and be independent, but you're still a kid. So you're like right on the cusp. And it's so awful because you miss out so much and you can't help it. And it's like, it's so annoying. I can't wait till my birthday so this will be over. And I can do what I want, and my parents will allow me to, because I'm an adult, and like, it's so annoying. I just, and that's one of the reasons I like her, you know. For this time being, I can live through her, and like, I just wish that I was what I am not. So yeah. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. So that's why I like Trisha Paytas, and there's a lot of hate for her online. I think it's unwarranted. Like, you can have your own opinions, you know, that's my opinion, I'll respect your opinion. I know how it is. I have friends who really hate her, so I understand. But I also want to say, like, there needs to be people out there who love you, because if there isn't, then people die, you know? So I'm just saying. Anyway, that's my opinion. She really helps me a lot. She makes me laugh, and, like, you know, I don't know. So anyway, bye guys.